Kelsie Shelling, a bright young girl from Holyoke, Colorado, was watching a college basketball game with her friend when she noticed a player named Donthe Lucas. After the game, she went to speak to him and instantly felt a connection. The two started dating soon after. However, the relationship didn't work out as Kelsie had hoped. They ended up breaking up, but Kelsie had already become pregnant. When she informed Donthe, he was upset by the news and asked Kelsie to come to see him. After Kelsie went to see Donthe, she disappeared. She vanished without a trace. But what happened to her? Was she kidnapped, or did Donthe murder her? Let's get into it. Kelsie Shelling's story begins in the quiet town of Holyoke, Colorado. Growing up in this small agricultural community with just one stoplight, Kelsie enjoyed a childhood filled with outdoor activities and sports. In the early 90s, her parents, Doug and Laura, owned the local grocery store, contributing to the close-knit nature of the town. However, the tranquility shattered when Kelsie's parents decided to divorce as she entered her teens. This upheaval had a profound impact on Kelsie and her brother Colby. The siblings found themselves living with different parents, Kelsie with her mom and Colby with their dad. The divorce cast a dark shadow over the Shelling family, particularly affecting Kelsie. Emotionally distraught, Kelsie took a dark turn and ended up in the hospital after overdosing on antidepressant pills. It was a terrifying time for all who knew her. Thankfully, she recovered, but the experience changed her. She withdrew from her sports and activities, seeming distant. She was searching for a new direction, trying to figure out her life's path. As she entered her senior year, Kelsie's resilience and kindness shone through when she was crowned prom queen, a testament to her respect among peers. Following graduation, she enrolled at Northeastern Junior College with aspirations of earning a psychology degree and dedicating her career to working with children. In January 2011, as the winter chill settled over Northeastern Junior College, Kelsie found a renewed sense of joy in her college life. Making new friends, she embraced the opportunity to go out and have fun once again, signaling the return of the carefree spirit she was known for. It was during this time that Kelsie and her roommate decided to attend a college basketball game, hoping to cheer on their team. As they watched the players in action, one name stood out to Kelsie: Donthe Lucas. A remarkable basketball talent with dreams of reaching the NBA, Donthe's skills on the court were matched by his popularity on campus. Intrigued, Kelsie and her roommate approached him after the game, striking up a conversation that would change the course of Kelsie's life. Donthe's charisma and talents left a lasting impression on Kelsie, and soon the two found themselves spending time together. As they got to know each other, Kelsie felt a deep connection with Donthe, believing she had met the man of her dreams. Their connection blossomed into a romantic relationship, marking a new chapter in Kelsie's life, filled with hope and dreams for the future. But not long after Kelsie and Donthe began dating, cracks began to appear in their relationship. Concerns arose among Kelsie's friends and her mother, who sensed an imbalance in the commitment levels between the two. It seemed that Donthe, while physically attracted to Kelsie, might not have been as emotionally invested in the relationship as Kelsie was. They suspected that Donthe's interest in Kelsie was not purely romantic, but also practical, because Kelsie let him use her car and often gave him money. Those close to Kelsie suggested that Donthe might not have been ready for a serious relationship, yet he didn't want to break things off with Kelsie, nor did he want her to be with anyone else. In the midst of this emotional turmoil, it became apparent that Donthe might be playing with Kelsie's heart, creating a painful and draining experience for her. The toll of this tumultuous relationship weighed heavily on Kelsie, casting a shadow over the happiness she had initially found with Donthe. During this period, Donthe transferred to a college in Kansas, while Kelsie moved to Southern California for her studies. This geographical separation marked the end of their relationship. However, the high cost of living in California led Kelsie to eventually return to Denver, where she found employment at a local store. Before her return, she and Donthe had reconnected through texts and phone calls. When Kelsie arrived in Denver, Donthe was there on his holiday break, and they rekindled their relationship. But then, an unexpected development occurred. Kelsie discovered she was pregnant. Donthe's reaction was far from enthusiastic. In fact, he was quite upset. His feelings towards the pregnancy fluctuated, accepting it one day and rejecting it the next, creating an emotional roller coaster for Kelsie. She felt that he was reluctant to be involved with the baby. In fact, Kelsie's mother, Laura, had asked her if Donthe was going to be involved or not, and she said that she was 98% certain that Donthe wasn't going to be involved. On the morning of February 4, 2013, Kelsie attended her ultrasound appointment. Filled with anticipation and excitement, she texted the ultrasound image to her mother and also shared it with Donthe and his mother. She reassured them, saying, "Everything's good. My due date is September 13th, and the doctor said everything looks good." Kelsie appeared to be thrilled about her pregnancy and the prospect of welcoming her first child into the world. But sadly, this was the last communication Laura received from her daughter. According to Kelsie's parents, Donthe texted Kelsie, asking her to meet him that night. She left her workplace at 8:41 p.m. and went to meet with Donthe after that. When Kelsie's friends and Laura didn't receive any communication from her the following day, they became extremely concerned. Laura then reported Kelsie as a missing person to the Denver police. After lodging the missing persons report, Laura immediately contacted Donthe to inquire about Kelsie's whereabouts. He admitted to having seen Kelsie, but mentioned they had an argument. Laura explained to him that Kelsie was missing and they were unable to locate her. Donthe's reaction to the news was oddly calm. He didn't seem surprised or particularly concerned. He assured Laura that he would let her know if he heard anything. Not long after their conversation, he called Laura back. He claimed that Kelsie had just contacted him from a private number, stating she had lost her phone and would call Laura soon. However, this reassurance proved to be hollow, as Laura never received any further communication from Donthe. Kelsie's father was growing increasingly uneasy. He sent her a flurry of texts asking about her well-being but received no response. He texted her again, urging her to call him. Then a text message came back stating, "I'm not feeling good. I'm laying on the couch. I'll talk to you tomorrow." Doug and Kelsie's friends felt something was off. The text message didn't seem like it was from Kelsie. It didn't sound like her. They suspected that someone else had her phone and was impersonating her. Doug suspected Donthe, but he had no proof. To complicate matters further, the initial focus of the police investigation was on Doug and Laura, Kelsie's parents. Shockingly, they were considered potential suspects in their daughter's disappearance. Both parents, and even their son Colby, were brought in for questioning. Doug described the experience of being interrogated and accused of his own daughter's disappearance as extremely difficult. However, when the police realized that Kelsie had disappeared not in Denver, but 115 miles away in Donthe's hometown of Pueblo, the suspicion shifted away from the parents. Donthe then became the primary suspect in Kelsie's disappearance, and detectives called him in for questioning. As the interrogation began, Donthe made a surprising claim. He denied any romantic involvement with Kelsie. He painted a picture of their last encounter, a tense conversation in Pueblo that ended with Kelsie upset and angry, choosing to sleep in her car. He said they met again the next morning. According to his account, he took Kelsie to Parkview Medical Center, claiming she wasn't feeling well. He waited in the car for close to 2 hours while she was supposedly inside, but when investigators checked with hospital officials, they discovered that there was no record of Kelsie ever being at the hospital, a fact corroborated by the surveillance footage. Donthe further claimed that when Kelsie emerged from the hospital, she informed him that she was no longer pregnant, suggesting a miscarriage. This was puzzling, considering that just the day before, when Kelsie went for her sonogram, the doctor had confirmed a healthy pregnancy with no complications. Donthe continued his account, stating that he and Kelsie went to a Walmart on the south side. According to him, she wanted to grab some snacks before her drive back to Denver. He said that when she came back to the car, they started talking, and she told him to get out of her car. He claimed that he began walking home, and his mother picked him up. However, surveillance footage from the Walmart parking lot told a different story. It showed Kelsie's car arriving around noon, but Donthe was the only one to exit the vehicle. More importantly, he was seen getting out from the driver's seat, not the passenger seat as he had claimed. For the next 18 hours, Kelsie's car sat untouched in the parking lot. Then, as the morning light broke at 7:20, a tall figure in a hoodie, bearing a striking resemblance to Donthe, approached the car. The person got in and drove away, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. As the police interrogation progressed, Donthe attempted to paint a picture of Kelsie as a troubled individual. He claimed she battled anxiety attacks and relied on medication to cope. He said that she had overdosed on these pills multiple times, leading to hospital visits. He even went as far as to say that she had tried to take her own life on several occasions. However, Kelsie's past told a different story. She did face a dark time when she was 15 and had attempted to end her life, but that was a single, isolated incident from a long time ago. Since then, she has led a relatively normal life. According to her mom and close friends, right before Kelsie went missing, she was happy and excited about the pregnancy. She was really looking forward to being a mom, so none of them believed that Kelsie would have ended her life. Just over a week later, on Valentine's Day of 2013, Kelsie's car was found abandoned in the parking lot of a different hospital, and there was still no sign of her. Investigators managed to obtain crucial surveillance footage from an ATM revealing Donthe driving Kelsie's car alone, just one day after they believed she went missing. The footage captured him withdrawing $400 from her bank account without her present, so they called him in for more questioning.
Why'd you get the money?
The money? What money?
11:39 at the bank. You're on video, dude. In her car with her credit card. You're on tape.
Oh, this is the 400 that you're talking about? This is for my phone bill.
Why didn't she go with you to the ATM? She's not in the car. It's on the video.
It may have been while she was in the hospital. I'm not sure about like I said, my time frame has been messed up.
There's no record of her ever being a part of you.
So it's all I have to say.
When she dropped you off at Walmart, where were you parked at?
Apparently you guys know it, so, I don't understand why I told him one time, that's all I can say about it.
Dropped you off, when was that again?
Can I speak to a lawyer, please? So if you guys keep asking the same questions over and over, I speak to a lawyer.
Donthe was later arrested on charges of felony identity theft, a consequence of withdrawing $400 from Kelsie's bank account 10 days earlier. But the wheels of justice took an unexpected turn. The charges were dropped when detectives discovered that Kelsie had previously given Donthe permission to use her debit card. Without concrete evidence to prove that he didn't have permission this time, the case against him weakened, and just like that, Donthe was a free man again. After that, the investigation went quiet. This frustrated Kelsie's mother, Laura, as well as members of the community. They felt that investigators weren't doing enough to figure out what had happened to Kelsie. So in May 2013, they all rallied together and started their own searches for her. Large numbers of people joined in and helped search for Kelsie. These searches continued over the next few years without any success in finding her. Laura offered a $50,000 reward for any information that would lead to finding Kelsie, and she also created a Help Find Kelsie Facebook community page to create more awareness and to hopefully get some tips and leads on Kelsie's whereabouts. But then the case took a shocking turn. In October 2015, an anonymous person, who later identified herself as Jenna McLean, sent Laura a message through the Help Find Kelsie Facebook page claiming to have information on Kelsie's disappearance. Expressing concern for her safety, she told Laura that coming forward posed a significant risk to her life. Then a male associate took over the conversation and wrote, "Ma'am, please, your daughter is not dead. She will be back home alive." The man knew many of the details of the case and claimed Donthe hired a friend named Cliff to kill Kelsie. He further explained that instead of killing Kelsie, Cliff decided to keep her and sold her into sex trafficking, and Donthe had no idea she was still alive. He explained that Cliff had dug a fake grave and showed it to Donthe as proof that he had killed Kelsie, that the baby had been aborted, that there was a video of it being done, and that Kelsie had screamed for help. Laura found herself deeply disturbed and also confused by these mysterious messages. "It made me sick," she said. I could barely function. It tore me up so much, and I just thought, what if she's been out there and I could have found her, and we haven't, and she suffered all this time. That same month in Portsmouth, Ohio, A strikingly similar development unfolded in the Megan Lancaster disappearance case. Jenna McLean reached out to Megan Lancaster's family through Facebook, saying she had news about the case. Then a male associate took over the conversation and appeared to have a deep understanding of the case. He also claimed to know where Megan was and said that he could get her back. He went on to explain that Megan was being tortured, was also in sex trafficking, and was kept on chains in a room. Both families were told that each missing woman could be brought home alive, but they would have to each pay $25,000. The emailer told Katie Lancaster, Megan Lancaster's sister, to bring the $25,000 in cash to a McDonald's in Vancouver, Washington, and deliver it to a man named Marcus, who would be wearing a red hat. The exchange was that if I came to Washington, I could have Megan, and we could just leave and go on our way, said Katie Lancaster. Kelsie's mother, Laura, received an almost identical offer. If we sent someone with money to this McDonald's in Vancouver, Washington, once the money was exchanged, this courier person would go and get Kelsie and bring her back to the McDonald's, she said. Despite the dubious nature of the entire situation right from the beginning, these distressed mothers found it hard to ignore. I just thought, what if she's been out there and we could have found her, said Laura. Despite her reservations, Laura decided to proceed. She was concerned about possible criminal involvement, so she asked the Vancouver police to assist by going undercover and meeting the courier on her behalf. Although Laura was hopeful that the person was telling the truth and Kelsie was still alive, she knew that it was possible that it could all be a lie, and this could just be criminals trying to extort money from a vulnerable family. Shortly before the arranged meeting, the Vancouver police established that there was no involvement with sex trafficking, realizing that the entire situation was simply a heartless scam, so they backed out and informed Laura. I'm really grateful to know that we know the answer, said Laura, and this needs to just be a lesson or a warning to all the other families who have missing family members that these people are out there. They're looking for you. They're studying you. They don't have a problem with hurting you and taking your money. 3 long years passed since Kelsie's disappearance in 2013, and the town was still haunted by unanswered questions. Donthe, despite a mountain of evidence against him, remained a free man. The dark cloud of uncertainty loomed until an unrelated event unfolded on November 15, 2017. Donthe was arrested on robbery charges, a seemingly unrelated incident to Kelsie's case. However, this arrest would eventually pave the way for a breakthrough in the dormant investigation. Just over 2 weeks later, on December 1, 2017, police formally charged Donthe Lucas with Kelsie's murder. By May 2018, a judge acknowledged the prosecutor's presentation of probable cause. The lead investigator from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation pieced together a chilling theory. Kelsie was lured by Donthe and subsequently strangled in Pueblo, explaining the absence of a murder weapon. In August 2018, Donthe pleaded not guilty to the murder charges. The long-awaited trial finally started on January 25, 2021, nearly 2.5 years later. The prosecution meticulously built its case, relying on surveillance footage, cell phone records, and inconsistencies in Donthe's statements to the police. However, the defense chose not to present any witnesses, emphasizing the absence of Kelsie's remains throughout the trial. They argued that the evidence was insufficient to prove Donthe's involvement in Kelsie's disappearance or her alleged murder. The prosecution called dozens of witnesses, from investigators to friends and family of Kelsie. They also had a witness named Roxanne Martinez, who was going to provide a bombshell testimony against Donthe. But in another shocking twist, just a few days before Roxanne was supposed to testify, she was murdered. According to a report, the district attorney confirmed that Roxanne was going to testify for the prosecution that Donthe confessed to her that he killed Kelsie Shelling. So Roxanne's death, besides it being an absolute tragedy, was also a huge blow to the prosecution's case against Donthe. In spite of that setback, the prosecution pressed on, and on March 8, 2021, justice was served. Donthe Lucas was found guilty of first-degree murder. It was later determined that Roxanne Martinez's murder was the result of a domestic violence incident. Her ex-boyfriend, Emmanuel Chandler, was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Because Donthe Lucas was found guilty of first-degree murder, He received an automatic sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole.
It's just his pattern. He finds girls to take advantage of, and unfortunately for Kelsie, it just went way farther than that. So, I think the community should feel good, feel safe that he's not going to be back out on the streets again. There were times I thought we would never get to trial. That's how dire things seemed. But I just didn't want to give up. I couldn't give up on Kelsie. I just couldn't.
Those who knew Kelsie spoke highly of her. She's remembered as a vibrant and animated soul whose tenderness and affection touched the hearts of those around her. Kelsie exhibited a unique strength through her sensitivity, speaking with genuine emotion and listening with a caring ear. Her ability to be moved by a good story and her full-hearted approach to life amplified and uplifted those in her presence. As we reflect on her memory, may we honor the positive qualities that made her a cherished individual, even in the face of such a heart-wrenching tragedy. Our deepest sympathies go out to all who knew and loved Kelsie, especially her mother, Laura. We pray for God's comfort, strength, and peace to be with you always, and may Kelsie's soul rest in eternal peace.